Good evening, welcome to the July 29th meeting of the Waterboro Planning Board. Our roll call this evening is we have, at this time, one member absent, which is Doug Foglio. To my right, I have a new member, Frank Allen, who has replaced
two, don't we?
Susan.
Kurt's not here.
Pardon?
Is Kurt here?
Kurt? No, Kurt's not here either. Thank you. The board has changed so much in the last few weeks. Kurt is also not here at this time, and I apologize, Kurt, for forgetting you. On the agenda this evening, we have two items. The first one being a final review for Meadowbrooks Acres. Diane Holden is the developer of the property. Steve Everett is her surveyor. She isn't here for a final plan. We met last week or the week before regarding this. We had a couple of issues that we wanted to resolve. One of the issues was a letter from the fire chief on whether a fire pond should be in place or another source of fire protection for the properties. I have a letter dated 7/20/09 from the fire chief. Basically says, and I'm going to paraphrase it, that he's okay with individual fire suppression systems or home sprinklers as long as they meet the NFPA standards, and actually it's going to have to meet the state standards at the time of the development. So we do have that in our folder, and Mr. Everett's made some amendments to his subdivision plan, and he has added that constructions of lot 6 and 7 shall meet best management practices for erosion and soil control to protect what's known as straw mill brook. And leach field on lot 6 is to be installed on the easterly lot to assure at least 150 feet setback from the wetland. And the seventh note is the fire protection. With that, I'll open it up to the board if they have any questions or issues they'd like to discuss at this time. Seeing none, anybody from the public like to say anything about this project? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to accept the final plan submitted dated July 17, 2009 for Meadowbrooks Acres.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please indicate by raising your hand. Opposed? Passes. We will sign this after the meeting, and you can pick it up from Tina whenever the town offices are open. Thank you, Diane, and good luck. Next on the agenda is a preliminary subdivision application, and I know at the last meeting we basically said that the only thing we would hear would be was on the first meeting, but Steve Everett has since picking up a job in the northern part of the state, and he's going to be up there for a month for 5 weeks right over here. So in order to accommodate him and Mr. Lozier, it was appropriate that we put the preliminary subdivision plan on this evening. So without further ado, Steve.
Okay. This is Lakeview Estates. It is the preliminary submission. I did not get to meet with the town planner. However, a checklist was made out, and I assume you all have a copy of that. Roger did contact, or he did contact Roger, and they went over this checklist, and they also had a site walk on a couple of the different items.
Steve, may I ask a question before you get into it?
Sure.
Lot 2, is there a structure on that property already?
Yes.
Does the property owner own both parcels of land? Is the property owner the divider of this parcel? And has the property owner owned that property for 5 years?
They have not owned it for 5 years. I'm not sure who owns the property right now. Is it Jake who owns it?
No, it's R.G. Lozier and Son.
It's R.G. Lozier and Son. And I get, yes, they do own all of the property.
And have they owned it for 5? Is it, Roger, is it your primary dwelling? Or one of your son's primary dwelling?
It's my son's, yes.
Has he lived there for 5 years? No? Okay. Because
I understand.
I saw this, and that was my question, and I wanted to talk to Roger, and I hadn't had a chance to see him. Okay,
Right.
go on. And the reason I'm asking, because under state law, if the house, the dwelling is there and the primary owners lived in that, they're allowed 2 cuts without going through a subdivision review. So that's the only reason I was asking that on this parcel.
Right.
Thank you, Steve.
Okay. I'm going to assume that you're going to go through the checklist item by item anyway, so I won't do that for you. As things come up, we'll address them. And there are some things that I have added to the plan since I submitted it, which will be on the final plan, such as little things like north arrows that might be important. One of the things that I do want to talk about, though, on Lot 1 along Logan Circle, one of the items on the checklist came up that there were no courses and distances along that jagged line that shows along Logan Circle. And this survey is based upon a survey that was done by Survey Inc. back in 1994, and there's a note on the plan to that effect. What I did is I reproduced that boundary, and I've changed some of the dimensions a little bit just from the differences in what they had for measurements to the rebars, and I went out and relocated them. But I really have a question of how that right-of-way line came about, because there's no real mention on the plan that I could see, and it just doesn't make an awful lot of sense to me. And so what I was going to propose to do, and I'm not even sure that this is your call, but what I was going to do is just arc whatever the appropriate distance would be. And it looks like the 2 end bars along Logan are about the same distance. And I was just going to strike an arc through there. Instead of calling out all these angles and distances, it just doesn't seem right. And I just wanted to make that change. And that's why those angles and distances weren't on the plan.
I'm not a surveyor, and the best
Right.
I can do is say, use your best
Well,
survey.
and I was doing that, and I did base the survey, I based the division upon that survey, and everything seems to fit along with this.
Mhm.
But this sideline along Logan Circle just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I don't have any issues with it if that's a
Okay.
typical surveying judgment. That's
I just think it would make it a lot cleaner, and I don't think it's going to affect anybody. I mean, I don't know how Logan Circle came about. It was probably an old camp road, and it was a 15-foot right-of-way, and oops, no, we need to make it a little wider, but I have no idea how this can, maybe the road has moved over time. I don't know.
all it tells me.
So if you want to start going over the checklist, be happy to address.
I'm not going to waste everybody's time by going item by item. I think we should just, and it's my feelings, we should just address those issues that Tom has writing on or has questioned. If he's checked it off as being there, I don't see a need to sit there and dwell on it.
Okay.
It's up to you folks. You okay with that? Okay, in saying that, on the first page of 7, he has no north arrows on the scale. Have you?
No, it's not on the plan. I mean, I have done.
You
I mean,
address
it's-
that?
Yeah, it's.
You have that in front of you, so I'm just
Yeah.
going to ask for you to address it so the next time we can see it.
Yep.
This is a preliminary.
Yep.
And then on number 8, the private right-of-way, swale to be labeled on plan, 2-foot intervals shown.
Right. Now, we have 2-foot intervals shown. On the preliminary meeting, they made a comment that they wanted to show this ditch and label this ditch. Now, the contours show the ditch. It's on the north side, or straight up the sheet, on the northwest side of the road. It's existing. It's been there for about a year, I would say. And I can label it as a ditch, and I can show arrows if that's what the planning board would like, but the contours clearly show that the stormwater runs down along the northwest side of the road. I just think that that's something that is not necessary because it's existing, but if it's the pleasure of the board, I can certainly put a label in there.
What's your pleasure, folks? Want to see?
I guess
wanna see
looking
it?
ahead 10 years from now, it might be nice to have the label in there so it was at least recognized as such.
Okay. With arrows, I mean, Tom suggested to put arrows there to just show us where this going.
If you, yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. On page 2 of 7, let's see, we have the soils profile that was submitted by the site evaluator that's in your packet.
Are we all set with the 2-foot intervals on the contours? Number 9?
2-foot interval, these look like there are
They
2-foot
are.
intervals already.
Yeah, they are. Yep.
That's what it says, 2-foot intervals shown. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure why he called that out, because he had a copy of the plan to look at, so.
Yeah, they're 2, I'm looking at the blown-up version. Let's see.
Well, I think because it says we may require something different, or doesn't really say what's required on the checklist.
Right,
Mhm.
So I think that's why he said that.
I see, okay.
Any questions regarding the soils, folks? Seeing none, we'll move on to the next one. Number 11, bearing distance is not defined on Logan Circle frontage, and that's what you were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Okay. Address that, and I'm going to make that adjustment. Drainage plan, number 14. We're looking at these like for the first time
Right.
with you, Steve, so
Okay,
bear with me.
yeah.
Provisions for collecting and discharging storm drainage in a form of drainage plan. That's not gonna be asphalted, is it?
It's not, I don't believe it's intended to be.
No, you're
No.
gonna keep the natural vegetation there.
It's there, yeah.
I mean, you're
It's
not
built.
gonna strip it and,
It's all built. And Tom has seen it. We should have brought some pictures. It's all built.
The road and driveway is all in there.
Yep. Right.
Chip,
Yeah,
where,
just as it shows here is existing on the ground.
where will the drainage water go to?
The drainage water, basically from that little knoll that's on the easterly side of Lot 1, which is, again, not labeled here, but the first lot from Logan Circle will be Lot 1. From that knoll, the water is going to shed from the southeasterly side of the existing drive into the ditch and then down the ditch. As it is right now, the soils are so porous that we haven't had enough. I mean, over the course of the year, we've had some pretty good rainfalls, and there has been no erosion at all to date.
If there were to be enough water, where will it go when it gets to Logan Circle?
It's going to cross Logan Circle and then continue on down. I think that's what it was doing prior to the road being built.
To the north?
No, to the southeast, to the lake it's going to travel down along the ditch in a southeasterly direction. I mean southwesterly direction. It's going to cross Logan Circle, and then it goes to the lake.
It would cross Logan Circle right at where the right-of-way intersects,
I would say
because
yes.
that's the lowest point, right?
Well, it's kind of flat, right at the bottom of the ditch. it's relatively flat right there. And water has been coming down, you know, there's drainage that comes down Logan Circle anyway, and and it sheds across the road at that point.
The only reason I ask is there's already a real serious problem over on the, it would be to the east, over where it came in by Ernie Cragen's house, and the
On
water all
Logan's-
went
on-
down and went into somebody's driveway and then would go into the lake, and that's the only situation that I would see would
Well,
be a
we-
problem up.
We have talked about putting stone check dam in the ditch itself, or just a big 6-inch grader riprap in the ditch, just to slow the travel of water down. And then Roger even talked to Tom about putting in a basin, but I really don't think that's necessary down at the bottom.
Putting in a what?
It would be like a big dry well.
Yeah.
It would collect into that and then just leach into the soil.
Well, I know the soil is really good up there, and it just, there's a 12-foot difference from the top to where it meets Logan Circle, as I see it. Am I missing something there?
It might be a little more than that.
Yeah, I
It
think
might
it
be
might,
15
yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's,
or more. No, it'd be 30 feet
yeah,
in
that's,
elevation.
that's a pretty rapid rate
It is.
going down that hill, and if it creates the same situation we have over here in this other end of Logan Circle, then maybe a dry well would be.
Right, and I think we talked about this in the sketch plan, and I think this issue came up because Sue was saying that, oh, it's like a, you know, it's like a cliff there. Well, it's not quite that steep, but we explained at that time that the road has been, you know, there for a year, and there has been no erosion. So, yeah, we haven't had any 100-year storm events in the last year, but we've had some pretty good ones.
Yeah,
And
I guess you'll have to excuse me because I wasn't at that meeting.
I
so
understand,
didn't-
most
I
of you
didn't see
weren't
that.
at the meeting
Yeah.
before. But they said that may be an issue, you know, as this goes forward. And I think Roger had mentioned that, you know, certainly if something did happen, that he would fix it. You know, he has the capability of doing that. So, you know, I don't think we need to get too involved in this if it hasn't been an issue in a year. And but we could I think an easy fix would just be to put some riprap in that ditch,
Yeah.
Why
just
don't
to
you,
slow it down.
why don't you design something
Yeah.
that you think will work?
Okay.
And
We've got to go up for a site walk.
we're going to go for a
Yeah.
sidewalk
Right.
anyways, but I
Take a
mean,
look at it.
And
Steve
you
is
get
going
to
to be
see
around
it.
for 5 weeks, so while you're up in the backwoods of Maine, think about how I design something that's going to work, and
Okay.
we'll look at it at that point.
Yep.
Roger, you have a...
It's unfortunate that Logan Circle is a private road because we have really no one to work with. It's there, and if it belonged to the town, then we could have probably, you know, change the contour of the road, but nobody maintains it, nobody owns it. So we're between a rock and a hard place, and the thing we want to do is hopefully satisfy the neighbors' desires. If we have to live there amicably, then we're gonna do something, because we gotta drive in and out every day. So it's,
Well, we just,
I think once you do the sidewalk, Dave, and board, you'll see.
yeah,
this thing.
All right. So we've talked about that. Number 16, lot is missing building windows envelope, number 3. I see it on my plan there. Do you know what he was talking about on that one?
Lot number's missing.
Missing.
Lot number 3.
Oh, he's just stating building window envelope, they are shown, but the lot numbers are missing.
Okay.
And I talked to Roger this past week, and how he wanted to number it, and just starting with the left-hand lot, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Erosion sediment control plans. Do you have any discussion or any issues? Do you want to ask for a waiver? That's what seems to be on this, or have you asked for a waiver? Or
I think we want to ask for a waiver. I'm not sure that we've officially,
Which item are we on right now?
we're on
21.
21, yes.
yeah.
If I did a site walk with the town planner last night after dinner, and pertaining to that issue, I think if I remember correctly, Tom indicated that he doesn't recall ever having to go to York County Soil and Water Conservation District with a plan. And this being a three-lot proposed subdivision, it's not, I don't know if you want to differentiate between, if you do differentiate between minor and major, but he said it was such a small division that they probably wouldn't require it anyway.
I'm just going to ask again, Steve, you put the best management note on the plans?
Yep.
EMPs.
Okay.
I think that covers erosion management. Is basically, they have to put this whole screening up and do all the erosion control stuff while construction's going on. And I think that would cover
That should cover it. Okay.
Yeah.
Which
That's
is,
fair.
which is
Because once you-
something we talked pretty heavily about at that meeting with the selectmen on the new
Mhm.
regulations.
Which one's that? This one?
No, the,
Site plan?
pardon? The new site plan regulations. We talked pretty seriously about erosion control and
Mhm.
so on.
Do you have any issues? I mean, I think if they just put the best management, and at some point, and I'm not sure if you want to do it now, is you could do, I've typically seen them come in with a small, either silt fence or
A detail, it's detailed.
a detail for that.
Yeah, I've done that in the past, not on
Yeah.
projects quite this small, but it's up to you. I mean, the note should cover it, and any building permits issued by Patty, at least there would be a note on the plan. I mean, she should know that, you know, you
I'm
need to.
comfortable with that at this point, but down the
Okay.
road, you may be seeing it.
Okay.
Anything else, folks? Moving on to the next one. Construction schedule statement from Roger or Steve. When do you plan on building these?
Depends on the market. I will be submitting a formal letter. I didn't realize that this was an issue till last night, but I will be submitting a letter to the board, to the planner and the planning board of what our intent is when we plan on building and so forth, and they will explain. But at the moment, it's, building's up to.
You're not going to build them and carry them? All right. I guess that's the best we can ask you at this time. Mail delivery. Now, that's a private road. How's that going to be addressed?
At the present time, Jake lives there, and my son, and his mailboxes with the rest of the cluster of mailboxes on, I think you've probably seen on Weber Road. I thought at first probably one of those gang mailboxes, but I think it would be most feasible to have each individual future homeowner to have his own mailbox on Weber Road. That's where the mail gets delivered. They won't bring it up on Logan Circle.
No.
So to answer it quite simply, the mailbox will be with the others on Weber Road.
Okay. Report prepared by number 26, the geologist report to evaluate the impact of the development will have on the groundwater hydro studies.
We're requesting a waiver, excuse me, a waiver on that one.
It's a 3-lot subdivision, folks, with one existing lot, 2-acre lots. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion that we waive the hydro study, regular geological, I guess, survey.
Is there a second on this motion?
I'll second that.
Hmm?
I will second that.
Okay, David seconds it. Motion's open for discussion. Any discussion on waiving it or not waiving it? No discussion, okay. I will ask for a vote. All those in favor of waiving the motion to waive the hydro study, please indicate by raising your hand. Opposed? Passes. That's been waived, David. Excuse me, Steve. On page 3 of 7, number 27, since we waive number 26, I
So it takes care of that.
feel number 27 has been waived. Is
Yeah.
Yeah.
all in agreement with that, okay? We need to schedule a preliminary site walk and a public hearing. What's your pleasure, folks?
Anytime's fine with me.
Same with me.
Calendar.
You want to look at this one, or you got one?
I've got one.
Okay.
When do you folks want to do, you want to do it on a Saturday?
Can we do it before the meeting?
Yeah.
Or is that
Sure.
enough time before the next meeting?
The next
The
meeting
next-
is next
Next-
Wednesday, so it would be the
Yeah.
19th.
Mhm.
And when do the letters need to go out? Like ASAP?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. And then just make sure you get that confirmation.
What are you doing,
Is that
19th?
too soon?
Post office or whatever.
The letters have been sitting in my folder for the last 2 months.
Okay.
They can be mailed out tomorrow morning.
You want to do it on a Saturday? Do you want to do it during the week?
I'm wide open.
Do you want to do it in the evening?
Do it before the meeting?
We have a 5th, the 5th is our next meeting. No,
That's not time enough to do notice.
You have to do it on the 19th.
okay.
You have to do notice.
How about on the 19th? How about if we do it before the meeting on the 19th?
Sure.
Yeah? That's good.
6:30-ish?
Hmm.
6:30?
6:30 at the site.
At the site.
And
Roger.
then
With that in mind, should we got to think about what time we're going to be doing meetings, so are we going to have a meeting at 7:30 that night?
That was my next.
To sort of give us plenty of time, because even though it's a small site,
If we go to 6:30, we should be back here with plenty of time to start the meeting at 7:30.
yeah, one of the other items on our agenda is to decide whether we're going to start having the meetings at 7. That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
We did the sidewalk at 6:30, the public hearing at 7. And then-
That's a half, I mean, it's not far, but it
Mm.
could be a big site if somebody wants to walk the whole thing. Somebody's ambitious.
Sidewalk,
You
I
can
did
drive
last night
most
to
of it.
town.
Drive all the way up and see it all.
Can be done in 20 minutes. Everything is visible, every pertinent point that has to be met or addressed. You don't even have to get out of your vehicle. It's
Okay. Well,
You're going to have it flagged so we have an idea where the lots are going to be, at least the corners?
I think, Are the flags that I put out there still there?
All the way
Yeah,
around.
6:30
You can
and
stand
7
on Jake's deck.
Yeah.
Look at the whole property.
But the flags to demarcate where the property lines for the interior lots on the road, they're still there, aren't they? Yeah, they're still there.
We'll be all set, okay.
Yep.
So we have that set for,
6:30 on the 19th, correct?
yep. And the public hearing to follow at 7. All right. Is there any other issues that people have regarding this submittal? None. Roger, do you have anything you'd like to bring up? You guys all set?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yep.
I got one question,
Shoot.
or a couple of them, and you'll see where I'm going. Looking at, I assume you drew this up? AutoCAD? Any reason that you couldn't submit that in AutoCAD format?
I can submit it. I can submit it as a PDF. I usually send PDFs down to Tina anyway.
You know, PDF won't go in the GIS system, though. AutoCAD will.
Okay.
AutoCAD will, absolutely. I mean, that's something that I know that Tom had talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, once the system's up, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Well, it's, I don't believe the system is up, but I'm looking at prime place to start. It can't be much of a thing to put it in a 3.5 disc or,
Well, it would, but if you brought it into a GIS, it wouldn't be in the right place. So now we're talking about, it has to be geo-referenced and all that, so. I mean, I can do it.
I guess I'd like it in DWF format, and I'll worry about placement. I'd like to see it start.
Okay, so you're going to geo-reference it?
I'll geo-reference it.
Okay, not a problem.
David, turn that off the tape, too.
No, I think we had this discussion at a
Numerous
workshop,
times, yeah.
yeah. You know, and we figured that until it was ready to go, we wouldn't.
I guess I
Require
haven't
it.
seen it from the other end twice, and I don't think what I just asked for amounts to more than a couple keystrokes in a 3.5-inch disc. Not much.
I don't use 3.5-inch discs anymore,
Whichever.
but I could,
Yep.
this drawing, I could email it to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Not a major thing. You break them up into layers?
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Good.
Roger?
Are we still on?
We're still on?
Yeah.
Part of the discussion I had last night with Tom, I won't get into all the details, but is there a possibility of having the public hearing on the 19th and providing everything, every requirement has been met, get final approval? And I guess where the discussion was heading last night was trying to cut down on the amount of meetings to save the planning board time, and if the two issues can be dealt with in one evening, if you don't have 20 items on the agenda, if you meet, have the public hearing, there's no one opposed or anything so minor that you can turn around, close the public hearing, and have your final approval that same evening?
Just means letters to the abutters would have to be already out.
Provided, and I'm not saying it's, I'm going to say it's a possibility,
Yes.
provided all the ducks are in a row, the documents are all what we're looking for.
The letters, the fire chief has already been spoken to. There may be a letter sitting on Tom's desk now for a couple different issues that, but I know at the final meeting, we'll have all letters in hand, we'll have a letter from the chief. More than likely, the water issue will be addressed. We'll come to an agreement with what form of treatment we're going to use or whatever. And I guess in a nutshell, we can have all the paperwork ready for that evening. And I'm not expecting you to make a motion on it or move on it that night, but if it's possible, just because what happens at this time of year, since we've had a very bad summer, Dave may say, hey, it's going to be nice next week, I'm packing up, I'm heading out. And I just, because of past experiences of dragging for 2 years, and I'm a little paranoid. So that's why I brought that question up.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I can give you a definite possible.
Yeah. No, that's a good enough answer, Tim.
Okay, if everything's in line,
Yep.
it's probably probable, but it's best I can do right now is possible.
But if-
Anybody?
But on the 19th, if we're scheduled for the 19th, that's still going to be, so that's going to be sort of a combination preliminary final meeting? If everything is up to snuff, the checklist has gone through for final, everything seems to
If
fall into
everything
place.
is in order and it flows and there's not, as Roger said, 20 people on the agenda, and we can get through the site walk and there are no issues, I'm going to speak for myself.
Yeah.
I see it, I guess I think it can happen, but
Okay. So I should entitle the plan final then?
I
even
would,
though
I
it's
would
still-
at least, at the very least, have them ready to go.
Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario, that final becomes preliminary or revised final at the next meeting, but.
Right, I just don't know about in the recording, in the
Yeah, I know, but
CEO
if
office.
it doesn't go through that night, you're going to have to do another, there's going to be probably an issue with something on the plan anyway, so it's
Right,
going to have
and
to
you
be
don't
rewritten.
always, and you don't always approve
Right.
final plans the first time around, I know
So-
that as well, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
and I mean, that we can always get through the logistics of that.
okay.
All right, so you have your marching orders, you've talked to Tom. I would suggest you get everything into him and he'll communicate with us so we can have an idea, so we're not sitting here reading documents when we should have read them at home. All right,
All set?
all set?
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you. We have minutes from a number of meetings. Oh, I was here for April 1st meeting.
We don't have a problem, we never will. I guess just whoever was here and signed them.
Well, David and I, David wasn't here. Judy and I were here for April 1st. David, Judy, and I, and Steve were here for July 15th. And David,
The 15th, I think you can vote on.
I think we can
Yeah,
vote on
that-
all of them.
Okay. All right, whatever.
Because David, Judy, and I were here on the 6th.
Okay. I have some.
And we're going to vote on them anyway.
Okay.
So we're going to move these things along. You want to take a look at the April 1st? Well, if you guys can remember that far back. That was Mr. Dolbeck who came in, who was looking to do a project on his property.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to accept those as approved. And it's going to be basically Judy and I.
I'll make a motion to approve April 1st.
I second it.
Presented.
All in favor? Judy and I, thank you. That one passes. Hey Doug,
Oh,
I will accept the motion to accept the meetings for May 6th. That would be David, myself, and Judy.
Oh,
And that's the evening we talked about checklists and issues.
I'll make a motion, we accept that. That's it.
I'll second it. Judy, any discussion on
no.
it? All in favor? That passes. And the last one is July 15th meeting. David, Judy, Steve, Doug, yeah, actually, we were all here. Would you take a look at that meeting, those minutes? And Kurt. Any omissions, additions, something like to add to it? I will entertain a motion.
I'll move that the July 15th minutes be approved.
Any seconds on that?
A second.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Thank you, folks. Officers report old business. We don't have any old business. We do have communications. We have a letter sent to Mr. David Joy that the Code Enforcement Office sent regarding SAT 57, tax map 7, lot 88. And that's in regard to a
Do you want to sign this one?
violation of a foundation. The second piece of communication we have is basically the site plan review ordinance that got kicked is back to us. And it was at the selectmen's meeting. And it was basically highlighted that a motion by Selectman Littlefield and seconded by Selectman Gale to send the Economic Development Committee site plan recommendations to the planning board, vote 5-0. We'll discuss that. Next on our agenda is meeting times for future board meetings. Do you folks want to meet at 7:30, or do you want to continue to meet at 7:30, or does 7 o'clock work for you folks? What's your pleasure?
I'd like to meet about 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's my day off, Doug, I don't blame you, I do too, but... Or I could say there are people in here that actually work.
You know, there are people who do work second and third shift, and this doesn't work out so good for them as if we had one meeting a month during the day. I know that there's always people that say they should all be at night, but there's people that can't attend because they work at night, and there's, you know, sometimes you'd get more input from people that can't come at night if you had them during the day.
Okay.
7's fine for me.
7's
6 is
fine.
fine.
Seems fine. I like 7.
7's fine with me.
All right. I don't think we need a motion on that. We'll just change that as an SOP. We'll
thought we
change
already
our
did
meeting
that.
time to 7. And actually, Doug's idea isn't a bad idea. When I was working in Biddeford, we actually had a planning board meeting in the afternoons. It was consisted of the staff directors were essentially a planning board that would do these small innocuous reviews. So maybe we could look into something like that and have a board member and I don't want to say management, but directors of different units, divisions, and as a...
You know, when you have site walks and stuff like that, if you could do them, if you could have a regular meeting and have your site walk and then come back, you know, let the board go out. I'm a firm believer in that the board, or at least the designated members of the board, should be included in all site walks.
Yep. I don't disagree with
I think we
that.
all should.
I think
Yeah.
an afternoon meeting works well, and it worked well.
I mean, I know you can't have them all, but you have 2 meetings a month, there's no reason that somehow we couldn't figure out a way to have 1 meeting a month that was,
Accommodate the lesser of the meetings. I do agree, maybe we can work something out with the planner once we settle out, and figure out where things are going here.
something to think about in the future.
All right, new business. Let's talk a little bit about the site plan review that was sent back to us. We have a meeting set up for this, Tina?
I just got this today.
Okay, she just received this today, so we're going to set up a meeting it's going to have to be a August 19th meeting, right? In order to get everything out.
Right.
So,
We don't have to hold a public hearing.
we don't,
No.
but we probably should.
We can have a public meeting, but it does not, the ordinance does not require the planning board to hold a public hearing. The board of selectmen, when we get done with it, have to hold a public hearing.
So is the Board of Selectmen going to, if we kick this back if there's an amended kick it back to the Selectmen, they're going to have the public hearing on this?
They have to have, it's section 13,
Yeah.
1304, maybe?
The ordinance is right there.
What's that?
The ordinance is right in that book.
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up there.
Yeah, we read it that night.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what it is, 1304 or something. Maybe somebody can find it in there. Is it marked in that one, Tina? Is it big?
No, it's just,
I should have marked it. Maybe it's right here. Got something marked here.
it's 1304.
1304, that's what I was just looking.
Last time to go, proposed amendments to the resolution, selectmen, board, and the planning board.
1304. Yes, the selectmen shall forward it to the planning board, who will review it within 30 days,
Right.
and review the proposal and forward a recommendation and the planning board's reasoning in respect to proposed amendment to the selectmen. And they shall then send it to town council, and when you get it back from town council, it may not even remotely look like what you sent to them. And they have 30 days, and then the selectmen have 45 days after that to hold a public hearing and act on it. But that's what we was discussing the other night, We can notice it as a public meeting, but,
Yep.
and we can hold a public hearing if you want, but we don't have to hold a public hearing.
Yeah, it basically says after a public hearing, the Board of Selectmen shall vote on the proposed amendment. Okay. So we can schedule this for the 19th to open it up for discussion at the board and advertise it as a session. If people want to come in and make comment on it at that point, they're more than welcome to. So if you folks want to look at this and review it and come in with your suggestions,
What's our next meeting, the 5th?
the 5th. Yeah, we could do it the
We could
5th,
do it the 5th.
since we don't have to have a public meeting, a public hearing.
What have we got on the agenda, Tina, for the 5th?
Nothing right now.
Nothing yet.
I would think that would be a good time to do it.
Good, we'll do it the 5th. You want to schedule as a public hearing, or do you want to schedule as a workshop? With the public invited?
There's not time enough to do the public hearing notification,
Yes.
so you just
Public.
do a regular
We'll do
meeting.
a meeting with that as a
As
public, as an agenda.
item.
Okay, that's what we will do. Does anybody else have any new business they'd like to discuss? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second on that?
What's that?
Second on that? All in favor?
Second.
Who wants to stay longer? Steve wants to stay because it's air conditioned.
Yeah.
We're adjourned. Thank you,
Our house
folks.
is like an oven.
Yeah.